2 years ago, I was living a life that didn't feel like mine anymore. Every morning felt heavy, like I was waking up already tired. I'll reach to my phone before I even open my eyes, scrolling, consuming, escaping. Then I drag myself through the day just trying to survive, not building anything, not moving forward, just repeating. And the scariest part, nothing looked broken from the outside. But inside, I knew something was off. Because when you really look at it, there wasn't a big problem. There was no crisis, there no dramatic failure, but there was also no progress, no direction, no control. And that's when I found out something so small, I almost ignored it. Get 1% better every day. At first, it sounded meaningless, too simple to matter. But then I understood something most people never realize. If you improve just 1% every single day, you don't just get a little better, you multiply. Not 365%, but almost 37 times better over a year. And that's when it hits me. Isn't a small change. This is about quiet transformation. And here's where people get it wrong. This has nothing to do with numbers. It has everything to do with identity. Because every action you take, no matter how small, is shaping who you become. You are not just doing habits, you are casting words. When you make up your bed, you are not just clearing a space, you are proving something to yourself. When you read a single page, you are reinforcing growth. When you move your body, you are choosing strength. So the real question isn't, can I change my life? It's, who am I becoming with what I do daily? Because if I'm honest, the old morning told the whole story. Alarm ring, I hit the snooze. Then again and again. Eventually, I'll wake up already behind. And without thinking, I'll reach for my phone. One scroll turned into 30 minutes, sometime an hour. Before the day even started, I already lost control. And for a long time, I thought the problem was me, that lacked discipline, that I needed more motivation. But that wasn't true. The truth was simpler and harder to accept. I had built a system that made failure automatic. Same input, same behavior, same outcome, every single day. So I stopped trying to change my entire life overnight. I changed something far more powerful, my environment, because willpower fades, but environment control behavior. The first thing I did was simple. I moved my phone out from my bedroom. That was it. No big plan, no complicated routine, just distance. And suddenly the morning felt different, quieter. No condition, no notification, no noise, no distraction. Just me and my thoughts. And that's when I realized something uncomfortable. I had been avoiding silence, avoiding stillness, avoiding myself. Because it's easier to scroll than to face what you are in life. Then I added something else, a glass of water beside my bed. So when I woke up, I drank it immediately. Before checking anything, before reacting to anything, and it sounded small, but it changed something deeper. I was starting my day on my terms, and something interesting started happening. Those tiny actions started creating momentum. My brain began to adapt, like it was learning a new identity. This is who we are now. And once that thought appears, everything starts to shift. Then I added one more habit, making the bed. Not because it's life changing, but because it's a proof. Proof that I can start something and finish it. Before the day even begins, that one small win changes how you carry yourself. And that's when I realized it doesn't take hours, it doesn't take massive effort, just a few minutes to begin something, to begin becoming someone new. Not overnight, but undeniably. Then I looked up at my nights because that's where most people lose control. Not in the morning, but at the end of the day, scrolling endlessly, watching without thinking, letting the day disappear. So I created a rule, 9 p.m., everything off. No screen, no distraction, just space. And for the first time, my mind could actually slow down. I prepared for the next day, clothes ready, and I write down three things that went well. No big achievement, no just small win. Because you focus on starts to shape how you see your life. Weeks passed and something shifted. I wasn't forcing this habit anymore. I wasn't struggling. They started feeling natural, like they belonged to me. And that when everything changed, because once your identity shift, your action follow automatically. You don't chase discipline, you become disciplined. That shift didn't just affect me, it showed up in my work, in my focus, in my clarity, but more importantly, in how I showed up for people. I had more patience, more presence, more energy to actually connect, and I realized something powerful. People didn't suddenly become better. I did, and that changed everything. Now, let me be real to you. That wasn't perfect. I still had bad days, days that I sleep back, days where old habit returned, and the difference was this. I stopped quitting. I stopped restarting from zero. I learned to reset. When success isn't about never failing, it's about how fast you come back. 6 months later, I look at my life and barely recognize it. Not because of one big moment, but because hundreds of small ones stacked, repeated, compounded. And so, if you're waiting for motivation, for a perfect plan, for the right time, you don't need it. Start small. So small, it feels almost pointless because that's where real change begins. So, ask yourself, who are you becoming today? And what's the smallest action you willing to take tomorrow? Because your future self is not waiting. He's being built. And what you do next?